Who is going to be the whipping boys, Martin? Obviously, we've got 3 new teams joining us. There was a struggle down in that relegation zone. It was very, very close. Obviously, for 2 teams, not, but it was very close for that 3rd place being relegated. Do you think some of the new teams will struggle, or will some of the old teams that were there last season find it tough to stay up this time?
I think a lot of the new teams will struggle. I can't really see Sheffield United having a great campaign. They keep breaking their transfer record, but that's by spending about 4 million on a new player or 5 million on a new player. Aston Villa have gone down the Fulham route, where they've spent more than 100 million quid this summer to try to scrape survival. I think they might just about pull it off. They're the team of the 3 that have come up that I'd be most confident. But the case of Fulham last season showed that it's not always possible to buy your way to safety. A team that I think could really be whipping boys this season is Newcastle. Rafa Benitez kept them in the top flight by his tactical wizardry, by having a tight defence. He's gone. They've brought in relegation specialist Steve Bruce as their manager. They've lost their top 2 goal scorers from last season in Rondon and Iosi Perez. So I can see them potentially being the whipping boys. I think they look a decent shot for relegation. But yeah, I agree. There's going to be a few teams that are going to be on the end of a hiding at the hands of the big boys next time around.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at some of these odds here, obviously Sheffield United, the favourites there, as low as 1.66. Now that's really low to take that. Maybe if you want to add it to a treble or something like that. Flash, what's your thoughts down at the bottom here? Who are we going to say goodbye to?
I think we're going to go say goodbye to Aston Villa. I don't think Aston Villa have got any goals in them. Obviously, Tammy Abraham went back to Chelsea. I think they're bought really badly. I think that if you beat up on Aston Villa and you get it right here, I mean, there's plenty of money to be made. They're 3.25. They're 3.5 in a place to get relegated. Far too much. I mean, they went and bought Tyrone Mings for 25 million, and Bournemouth went out and bought his replacement for 5. That tells you exactly what they thought of Tyrone Mings. I don't think Tyrone Mings is a Premiership defender. And also, if you want to go into that, and we look at they've spent nearly 100 million. Have a look at Dean Smith at 17 to 1 to be sacked first. He's 6 to 5 to be sacked any time during the season, which is like 2.2. So for me, I'm beating up on Aston Villa. I like Norwich. I think Norwich will be okay because they've got goals. They play the right way. Tight pitch at home. I think they'll get good points at home. They've got a good spine. Norwich are the one of the 3 that I think will stay up. Sheffield United, they'll just be. I just don't know about them. I think they're best watched.
Yeah, well, there's certainly no value in betting them. What are your thoughts as well, Martin? Obviously, making some strong cases for Newcastle to be relegated as well. Are they going to be one of the teams that fall short this season?
I don't know about them because it always comes down to the 52,000 crowd, and I think there's other teams in front of them that won't be as strong. I mean, you look at the likes of Brighton, unproven manager. Chris Hughton done unbelievably well to keep them in the league or survive or bounce back up. So I think Brighton will be down there. How long can Bournemouth keep doing what they've done? I think Bournemouth will be another one that won't produce as well as they did last year. And Watford, I mean, they were unbelievable last year, but you could never get them right. So a team that hasn't got the consistency to get right week in, week out, they've always got a chance to be dragged in. I wouldn't go anywhere near Newcastle. They're another team that's best watched. I certainly won't go with them, but I wouldn't really want to oppose them. Not when you've got the likes of Aston Villa, Sheffield United, Brighton. So they're the ones I'll be beaten up on.
All right, interesting. And yeah, you're right about Watford. It was sort of like one week you bet on them, they lose. The other week you bet, you don't bet on them and they win. They were definitely sort of like an unreliable team in that sense. Now, looking at the winners' market, I have to say, obviously it was an amazing season, both at the end of the Premier League. Then we moved to Europa League and Champions League, dominated by English football. Man City are massive favourites, really, when you compare to it's 1.66. These are odds from Bet365, 1.66. Liverpool, 3.25, and then you jump to Tottenham at 17, Chelsea 26. Now, one of the things that a lot of people love with the Premier League is that it is more evenly matched. Say when you head to sort of Bundesliga, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Serie A, is the Premier League turning into that? Because they are pitted as heavy favourites, and I think that it is between those two. But is it taking away one of the things that we love about the Premier League, Martin?
I think it will be between those two next season, but no, I think the Premier League is going to remain ferociously competitive in the years ahead. I think it's like that because Chelsea are going to have an off season. They've been hit by a transfer ban. They've had to sell Eden Hazard and they haven't been able to replace him. But once those young players get a season under Frank Lampard, and if Chelsea go out and spend an absolute fortune next summer, I think they could be back in 2020 to 21. And then Man United have got to click eventually if they keep throwing money at the problem. So I think long term it will still be a very competitive league. But for next season, I can definitely see why those two are priced so much shorter than all the rest, because they were streets ahead of them last year. And little suggests that any of the teams below them have done enough this summer to catch up. I'm not sure it's worth betting on Man City to win the league at quite such short odds. But I do quite like the idea of going each way on Liverpool, because if you bet on them each way with a lot of bookmakers, they'll pay you out a third of the odds if they finish in the top two. So you'll get a good win if they win it, and you'll still be in profit if they finish second. And I really can't see Liverpool finishing outside the top two. They'll be full of confidence after winning the Champions League. All their key players are the right side of 30. They're all approaching the prime of their careers. They've all bought into Jurgen Klopp's philosophy. They're quick, strong, hard pressing. I think they'll run Man City really close again next season. They could even win the league. I think Man City overall are too strong, but it's a summer of change for Man City with Vincent Kompany retiring, a few players getting a little bit old. I think there's definitely an opportunity for Liverpool to have a go at this title this season.
Yeah. Bookmakers, just on the odds they're suggesting, really point to that sort of a very confident Man City win. Do you think that it's as confident as that, Flash?
Yeah, I think the way to play it is Man City to win, Liverpool to come second. I think we've got this. I think we've done the forecast for the last 2 years. So I think we can go for 3 in a row. And I think that's where you get your value. Or you go, I think Man City, they remind me of the dominant Barcelona like 7 or 8 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. I mean, I can see Man City doing a clean sweep of everything they enter. I really can. I'm not too sure. I mean, there's a couple of little tiny bets that I like Becker, the goalkeeper for Liverpool, Alisson, to be the Golden Glove. Because I think that Liverpool's, all their dominance is not built on the amount of goals they score. It's about the clean sheets that they keep. Whereas Man City are quite sloppy because they overcommit and they're not very good at defending set pieces. So I say Man City win, Liverpool to come second, straight forecast. Well, it's going to pay probably around, 3? So I'll go that way. Yeah. And have Alisson as my Golden Glove at 2.5.
Yeah. That's definitely the way to go if you want to get a bit more value. Anthony L says, who is this year's Huddersfield? I need a team to fade all season. I tell you, Martin is a great one at sniffing out those ones to fade. Do you? Which ones do you have yet? Is it normally we sort of see in the first couple of weeks, don't we? When we start betting, it starts winning, and then it's just you just keep going. Huddersfield 0. That was such a great money maker last season. But Martin, do you have any right now that you've pegged to fade? You like fading bad teams. That's one of your sort of like angles.
I do like fading bad teams. I think it's difficult in the opening weeks of the season to fade some of the teams that have just been promoted because they often carry a bit of momentum from the previous campaign in. So they've been used to winning and they often do start well. So I'll probably like to revisit that after about 3 or 4 weeks of the campaign. But yeah, it's a bit different to the likes of Serie A and La Liga. When a team gets promoted, they just go straight back down again and get hammered week in, week out. When you go up to the Premiership, you do get a lot of money as part of the TV right payments. So a lot of them do invest quite heavily in their squads. I think it remains to be seen. I think I'll wait to see what happens before the end of the transfer window. But there's some teams now that I think they're just they're not going to stretch themselves too much because they're expecting relegation. And rather than putting up too high a wage bill and being in real trouble when they do drop back to the Championship, they're just playing it safe. And I think that could count against them. So a team like Sheffield United really has to be the one out of everyone that I think could finish bottom. But then again, I thought Cardiff would finish bottom last season and they just about went down, but they battled quite strongly. I personally don't think any team will be as bad next season as Huddersfield were in the last campaign. I think you'll definitely see it in Italy and you'll definitely see it in Spain. But I'm not convinced that any of these teams are going to be as bad as Huddersfield, I'm afraid.
It's a shame, though, because that Huddersfield win to 0 was such a good bet. Talking of surprise teams, obviously Wolves landed in seventh. What do you predict for Wolves this season, Flash?
I really like Wolves. I think that they could be the one team that dislodges either a Chelsea, Arsenal or Man United in the top 6. I mean, I've got Wolves to finish in the top 6 at 5.5. But I've also got a saver on Wolves to finish top without the big 6 at 4.5. I think it's a knocking bet.
That one's
Wolves
great.
to finish in the top half at 1.5. If someone just wants to get 50% on their money and they're happy to have it wrapped up, Wolves for me look like the side now. Left them alone last year quite a lot. They'll be the side this year. I don't expect them to score bundles and bundles of goals, but I'm almost thinking that they're like a boa constrictor. They will strangle teams. They will keep possession. They'll be patient. And I think they've got a touch of class about them. And if anyone's going to break into this top 6 this year, I think it'll be Wolves.
Yeah. I agree, if anyone can break into the top 6, it could be Wolves, but it's tough to beat the top 6, I have to say. What do you think, Martin, if there was to be a team, would Wolves be your choice to break in? And can they? Would you put money on it?
I wouldn't put money on that, I'm afraid. No, I think they did very well last season, but they do have to contend with playing Europa League football this time around. That could cost them a bit of a slow start to the campaign. They've got a good starting 11, Wolves, but they've got a pretty small squad and it's going to be stretched pretty thin. I know they're not Burnley and I'm not comparing them to Burnley, but last season Burnley, they came off finishing 7th. They went into the Europa League campaign and they were exhausted by the start of the season and they battled relegation for long parts of the season. Wolves will do a lot better than that. They're a far better team, but I think that could count against them. It remains to be seen who they sign this transfer window as well. They've been very quiet so far, but George Mendes has got a lot of players on his books and some of them need new clubs. So if they could pull off a signing like I don't know, if they could get a James Rodriguez or someone like that, he's got big players that could be moving this summer. So that could be interesting. But with the current crop that they've got, I can't see them finishing above Man United, Arsenal or Chelsea. No, but I'm not actually even sure. I think they'll finish maybe 7th or 8th, but I think Leicester might be good for 7th place. I think we could see a good campaign for Leicester this season under Brendan Rodgers. I think they were impressive when he took over last time around, and I think they'll get some good results with Vardy up front and the likes of James Maddison and Yuri Tielemans playing through balls in. They look pretty strong at the back. If they can replace Maguire with a decent defender like someone like Lewis Dunk from Brighton, I think they'll have a very good shot of nicking 7th with Wolves in 8th.
Yeah. One of the Alex is asking top London club. Martin chiming in Arsenal, but I know that's probably more wishful thinking. Flash, you do like a bet from that top Arsenal club betting market, don't you? Which one are you going for, and what are the odds?
Oh, you've got to go for Tottenham.
Yeah,
you've got to go for Tottenham, and it's. I mean, I think you can get them just a
unless
touch
if you're
over
Martin.
2. I mean, you've got. Sorry.
No,
unless if you're Martin, you've got to go. I don't know if Martin would put his money on that. Would you?
No, he'll leave it alone.
Oh my God, the odds are amazing. You can get 2.2 on Tottenham. I would bet that all day long. Yeah, all day long. 2.2 on Tottenham, top London club. Arsenal are a mess. Chelsea are going to go backwards without Hazard. They can't replace him because they've got a transfer ban. Tottenham to finish 3rd looks like a slam dunk to me.
Yeah, I
And
agree with that.
okay, what about this one now? Tottenham just to finish in the top four, 1.6. I mean,
Yeah.
if your bookie allows you to have a double, just have Man City to win the league and Tottenham to finish in the top four. I mean, that's already boosted up your ACCA.
Yeah,
And if
yeah.
you want to go for Sheffield United to be relegated, you've got your treble there of 1.66. I know you like your 1.62s, but I think you got 1.6s all the way there.
Like my 1.62s. I do like my 1.62s. Yeah, I completely agree. All right, so it looks like we're building a straight forecast here. Man City number 1, Liverpool number 2, Tottenham number 3. Who's number 4? Manchester United, maybe?
I think it could well be Man United. There's definitely a case for Chelsea going backwards. They're going to have to put a lot of faith in youth. Frank Lampard's untested at this level. I think Eden Hazard contributed to more goals than any other player last season in terms of goals and assists. So you take that out of the team, it looks like they're going to struggle. Hudson-Odoi injured from the start of the season. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on the likes of Willian, who's looking a bit past it. Christian Pulisic, who doesn't know the league very well. I think they'll go backwards. A lot of people are saying Arsenal to finish 4th, but I just can't see it. They're just so inconsistent. A mess at the back. Lauren Koscielny's on strike. If they don't sign some big players between now and the start of the season, not that I rate Man United highly, but I think it's theirs to lose. They're spending. They look pretty weak under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for large parts of the second half of last season. But if they can click into gear with the players they've got, I think they could nick it. But I think those 3 teams will be well below Tottenham.
Yeah.
See, Nat, here we go. And this is where the viewers can make up their own minds. Martin is an educated man who has a real solid, unbiased view when he gives it all. And people should listen to that. But, when you start talking about Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, there's no faith in them. There's none whatsoever. So all of a sudden, you can have Wolves to finish above one of them teams, or be the one team that chases them at like 4.5, or to beat them at 5.5. That's where the value is, not going with them teams, finding teams that can go with it. I mean, Leicester are probably not far off the same price as Wolves. So you could go with a pair of them and either one of them to break into that top 6.
Yeah, no, I like it. And just, the straight forecast as well is probably one of my favourites. Man City, Liverpool, 2.2. But just to wrap up now, our Premier League look, and then we're going to head over to Champions League and to Europa League. So Premier League right now, Flash, what have you pulled or pulling the trigger on ahead of the Premier League season?
Oh, Man City to win the league.
Yeah.
Straight forecast, Man City, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Man City win the league and Villa to be relegated. Tottenham, top London club. Tottenham top 4, 1.6.
Yeah.
That's just frightening. I mean, if you can get, sometimes they don't let you do the double, but you could do double Man City. What about, I'll leave you with this one because you've obviously watched back. Dean Smith at 17 to be sacked first, or 2.2 to not be the Villa manager at the end of the season. I'm all over beating up Villa.
There you go. I love all of those, to be honest with you. The only one you didn't actually mention the Wolves one again, but the Wolves one that you mentioned to be in the top 6, I think that one is a bit more risky. I think the other ones I absolutely love. Martin, what are you going for?
Oh, I mean, I think that Tottenham to finish as the top London club at 2.2 looks really good. They haven't lost any of their big players yet. It doesn't look like they're going to lose any of them. Pochettino's still there, and they've started spending again. So that looks great. Liverpool each way to win the Premier League. I'm liking Newcastle to go down, 3.25. Also, I'm going to go for Aubameyang each way to win the Golden Boot, 8-1. He won the Golden Boot last season, joint top with Salah and Mane, and that was despite sitting on the bench for large parts of the season. I think Unai Emery now knows that he's got to play him in every game, up front with Lacazette as a pairing, and I think he'll get a lot of goals, even though Arsenal will struggle. 8-1, and you can go each way, and you get paid out if he finishes in the top 4, quarter of the odds. So I like that a lot. Yeah, I like Flash's bets on Dean Smith. That looks really appealing to me. I'd definitely go with that. And yeah, again, Tottenham without Man City and Liverpool, 2.0. That looks good as well. Yeah, lots of good bets on those sort of markets. But I'll probably leave Man City winning the league because it just don't really see the value there.
Really? Yeah. But I like the way that Flash there combined it, or doing a straight forecast to get some extra odds.